Don't ever forget that. The skull represents your mortality. The plant represents life. The hourglass represents the time you have left. Memento mori means remember your mortality. Because you could leave life right now. What will you do with the time you have? What will you do with it? That's some Marcus Aurelius shit. Right there. I want to do one more jam before we get going. Just another jam. Let's do this one. Be right with you guys.
Truth is out, it lies alone, but you don't want to know. Nobody will ever let you know. When you ask the reasons why, they just tell you that you're on your own. Fill your head all full of lies. Get your life up close on you, and there's just no return. You're wishing that the hands of doom could take your mind away, and you don't care if you don't see again the lights of day. Nobody will ever let you know. When you ask the reasons why, they just tell you that you're on your own. Fill your head all full of lies. What more can you do? No more tomorrow. Life is killing you. Turn to nightmares. Heaven turns to hell.
Hey, you guys like this move? Check it out. Alright, so don't see anything, right? Everything's cool, right? Then I run into a little problem. What's that? Right there. If I need it, I got it. Hope I don't ever need it. But if I need it, I got it. Gotta get that shit out quick. See? Keep it like this, but I carry like this, so it's kind of hard to see it, you know what I'm saying? If I see any problems, I'll bring the bag in front of me, because you gotta be fast. You gotta get to that shit quick. Or you can whip it and grip it. Whip it and grip it. Hopefully you don't need it. Fucking Sabbath was the shit. Fucking Sabbath, man. I hate even turning it off. So what's up, Goooooy? What is going on? I feel good tonight. I'll be honest with you guys. This old man pulled an all-nighter. No drinking, no drugs. All fucking nighter. I don't know why. I've been high on life lately. Let me get my shit set up here. Check it out. Introspection. It's my word of the day. It's good to have introspection. Perspective. Let's see here. So what's good with you guys? Let me check the chat here. How am I to see? Oh, Zion. I'm doing good. Ice pick works too. Nice. Hola. What's up, Ray Ray? What you say, Ray Ray? Mr. Swayway. And let's see. F Zion. I like it. Come on, we want to see the jaywalk. Yeah, didn't New York Goy do a jaywalk tonight, supposedly? I haven't been keeping up. Let's see. The ugly truth. Sorry I wasn't prepared more. I figured I'd come on unprepared then rather than put the stream back another 15 minutes. The ugly truth about the GDL? Oh no. Oh no. You mean the beautiful truth about the GDL. Alright, let's see. They'll probably show it. Yeah, the music. I could always cut the music out later. I don't care. They ain't stopping me. I don't care what they do. They can fucking... Never mind. I curse too much. Let's see here. Boom. Bada boom. Bada bang. What do we got here? Let's see. Let's put it to the tube. To the YouTube. Cancel. Boom, boom. Okay. Uh-oh. It's the ADL. They're coming for you. Let's see. We'll get this shit set up. Let's see. Didn't I do a different format? Yeah, I believe I did. You guys, I don't know if you ever checked it out, but the way I found out about this book was William Cooper actually did a series of videos. He was pretty good. I don't know, say what you want about him. Dr. Mengele. GDL United is a Judenrat shyster. Damn, some harsh words. But hey, I trust your judgment. It ain't for me to say. You know, the way I see it is, you can't just vote yourself part of of a team, you know. I can't just say, yeah, I'm GDL. That's for people in GDL to decide if I am or not. You know what I mean? That's up to other people, not me. Now, what's going on here? I forgot to put in PDF. Who else sucks at typing? Is it just me? I mean, I'm not like a one-finger dude, but my shit is it's just beat. I have to look every time when I type. You know who's a good typist? You ever watched Tommy Sotomayor? Anybody? Give me a 1 if you've watched Tommy Sotomayor. He doesn't even look. He's just like busting it out. Go watch the video of Bill Cooper sticking up for the Jew on Rosette Delacroix. Yeah, nobody's perfect. I believe it. But he did share some good shit, so that's cool. You gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. You guys ever heard of an eclectic approach? Eclectic meaning you take a wide range of things and you use it as part of your repertoire. Let's see what the actual definition says. Eclectic. Deriving ideas, style, or taste from a broad and diverse range of sources. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at people, I try to forget about the bad things about them, and I take the good things that I see in them, and I try to incorporate that in myself. It's like I learned that when I was 19 and I was working in kitchens, and I used to like, well, this guy's an asshole in this regard, but with this, he's on point. So let me just take that and forget about the bad stuff. It's like the Bible, you know. I leave behind all the shit that I consider to be bullshit or immoral or whatever, and I take the good stuff out of the Bible. So I have a rule of not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You know, I was you guys remember the atheist movement in YouTube 10 years ago, 8 years ago? I was one of those guys. And I was like, fuck the Bible, because I was a Christian before. And I felt all, you know, hurt and bent out of shape, being lied to and all that shit. Yep, don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. That's right. You know, you can empty the tub of the bathwater, but you can keep the baby. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible, now I look at it like, you know, maybe I can take some good out of it. I don't have to throw the whole fucking thing away. I encourage people to read it. So it's like that with people too. We can take the good from people and reject the bad. So, you know, if William Cooper did some shit that we disagree with, that's fine. Fuck it. He did some good shit too. I think we got a lot of that in this in the GDL. You know, people are like, well, this guy did this wrong, or he did several things wrong, and therefore I'm going to reject the entire person. I try not to do that unless they're obviously trying to sabotage shit. That's a different story. But if there's a couple of things about a person that I don't like, I try to ignore it and just look at the good shit. Mr. Bluntman! Not if the baby looks like the cover of American Horror Story. Throw his evil ass out. No, you didn't. Alright, chuck him the fuck out. Go ahead, ship it. Go ahead. Bluntman, I love you, buddy. I fucking love you. I'm so glad to see you in my streams, too. It's a good man right there, Bluntman. He's a motherfucker that picked me up when I was down. Look it up, you'll see. I'll check it out. American Horror Story? What the fuck is that? I hope it's fiction. Let's see. Uh-oh. Let me put in American Horror Story baby. Oh, this motherfucker? He looks creepy as hell already. Let's see. Oh, is that him? Is that him, Kool-Aid? No, that ain't him. He looks creepy anyway. Let's see. Is that a guy or a girl right there on the left? This guy. Is that a guy or a girl? It looks like a girl with a beard. Is that a girl with a beard or is it me? Oh shit. They got these in-between sexual people. You can't tell if someone's a man or a woman these days. Yeah, I guess it's a dude. He's sweet as apple pie, I'll tell you that. Most likely a girl with a beard. That's what I'm saying. Holy shit. I spent a little bit of time on that hair, too. Alright, hey, it's cool. To each their own. Whatever. Just leave me out of it. You know what I'm saying? Alright, where were we, man? I went off yesterday. I did 2 streams yesterday. I still haven't slept, Bluntman. I still haven't slept. And I haven't done any narcotics. I haven't drunk a beer. Nothing. It's a red devil baby. Alright, I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't fucking with no red devil babies. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so look. I want to see if I can pull out something cool out of my little Bible. This is my Bible. The Stoicism. Before we get started, let me see. There's these little things. Epictetus. He's the guy that got me started. The Golden Sayings of Epictetus. And it's written in this archaic language, so you gotta kind of decipher what the hell it means. How's my volume? Too loud? If it's too loud, hit 2. If I need more volume, hit 3. If it's just right, hit 1. Okay, thank you. Got to turn this air off. It's cold. Bluntman, I don't know if you caught the beginning of the stream, but this is, I don't know if you've ever seen this. Memento Mori. Remember, thou art mortal. Right? The skull is a reminder that we are mortal and that we only live a short time, maybe a little longer, maybe a little shorter, but right here, the flower, over here, the plant, that is life, and the hourglass is the time you have. And it's just a little reminder. It's a little coin, a medallion that says you could leave life right now. And it's nothing negative. Some people could take that as negative, like, damn, that's kind of creepy. No, it's a fact. And it's a way of looking at things like you're getting very angry. And there's something that's pissing you off, but it's minor shit in life. You just get your coin out. Remember, life is short, and don't waste your time getting wrapped up in stupid shit. Use your time valuably, you know? Use your time for good shit. So let's see, how many we got in here? We got 19? Okay, got a nice little crew. Mr. Truthy, what it is, Mr. Truth. So let's see if we can find... Epictetus says, how shall my brother cease to be wroth with me? So wroth means angry, right? This is my Bible. This is my religion, I guess you could say. Let's see here. Wroth. Angry. Archaic. An archaic word that means angry. So, how shall my brother cease to be wroth with me? How can I get this guy to stop being angry at me when somebody's angry at you? Bring him to me, and I will tell him. But to thee, I have nothing to say about his anger. So you can't control what other people do. If someone wants to be angry with you, don't worry about it. That's his problem. You can only deal with what you do. That's the whole concept in a nutshell. Yeah, next time I'm not going to waste our time here. You know what? Maybe I'll read this. Who then is a Stoic? Who then is a Stoic? In the sense that we call that a statue of Phidias, which is modeled after that master's art? Show me a man in this sense modeled after the doctrines that are ever upon his lips. So, what's a Stoic? Can we call the statue of Phidias that is modeled after his art? It's a sculptor. The statue is sculpted in the model of the sculptor. So he says, show me a man in this sense modeled after the doctrines that are ever upon his lips. So he says, show me the man who backs up what he says. Right? Can you live like you say you want to live? Show me a man that is sick and happy. Right? Anybody can be happy when times are good, but when things are fucked up, can you pull some fucking goodness out of there? So show me a man that is sick and happy, in danger and happy, on his deathbed and happy, an exile cast away from society and happy, in evil report and happy. Let's see what they mean by report. So anybody can be happy when times are good. Can you maintain your composure? It's not easy, I'll tell you that. When things are pissing you off and life is getting to you, can you be happy at those times? If you can, then maybe you are a Stoic. Report. Let's go to the second definition, if there is one. Report. Present oneself formally as having arrived at a particular place or as ready to do something. Evil report. So he's like, show me a man who's ready to do evil, but he's still happy? I guess that's what he's saying. He goes on to say, show me him, I ask again. So help me heaven, I long to see one stoic. So he's saying no one is really a stoic. We strive to be stoic, but no one's ever going to be perfect. He says, show me the man. Show me the guy who's sick and happy, and he's pissed off and he's happy in all these senses of the word. He says the guy pretty much doesn't exist. We all have failures. He says, show me him, I ask again. So help me heaven, I long to see one stoic. Nay, if you cannot show me one fully modeled, let me at least see one in whom the process is at work. He's saying, all right, well, if people can't be perfect at being a stoic or controlling one's emotions when times are tough, he says, well, at least show me somebody that's modeling himself in the mode. He's trying to be a stoic. And that's what's important, is that no one's perfect. Everybody's going to lose their cool. Everyone's going to have tough times. But can you deal in those tough times is the question. One whose bent is in that direction. He says, let me at least see one in whom the process is at work. One whose bent is in that direction. Do me that favor. Grudge it not to an old man to behold a sight that he has never yet beheld. So he's an old man. He's saying, I've never seen a stoic, a perfect stoic. But we strive to be. Think you I wish to see the Zeus or Athena of Phidias bedecked with gold and ivory? Nay, show me one of you, a human soul, desiring to be of one mind with God. No more to lay blame on God or man, to suffer nothing to disappoint, nothing to cross him. Yield neither to anger, envy, nor jealousy. In a word, why disguise the matter? So he says, you think I wish to see Zeus or Athena of Phidias? These are sculptures. Bedecked with gold and ivory? No. The sculpture as it is good enough. He says, nay, show me one of you, a human soul desiring to be of one mind with God. So when I hear God in Stoicism, I replace that with nature or the universe. He's saying, show me someone who wants to be one with nature. So someone who's not going to blame nature, meaning life. Someone who's not going to cop out and say, everything is someone else's fault. Damn it, this life has cursed me. You know? He doesn't want to hear complaining. He wants you to take life as it comes and not bitch. That's something that's hard for me because I've always bitched. I've always been someone who's lost his temper. Someone who's always complained about the petty things in life. When you see somebody who has real issues, you feel terrible about complaining about your own petty shit. He says, yield neither to anger, envy, or jealousy. That's hard to do, because anger, envy, and jealousy are emotions. Emotions want to suck you in and get you off your game, where a true stoic uses his mentality to conquer his emotion. One that from a man would fain become a god, one that while still imprisoned in this dead body makes fellowship with God his aim. Show me him. Ah, you cannot. Then why mock yourselves or delude others? Why stalk about tricked out in other men's attire? thieves and robbers that you are of names and things to which you can show no title. He says, don't try to be something you're not. Be yourself. I love this shit. I love it because every sentence is just jam-packed with shit. I had a red pill moment when I was about 24. I used to clean carpets, so I would drive in the carpet truck and I would show up to people's houses and I would clean. Well, this particular day, being 24 and short on patience and being long on anger, I was all pissed off this day. I was fucking furious. And it was all little shit. I was running late, or, I was having problems with my equipment or some bullshit. My little petty things in my little tiny world, I was angry. So I go to my first job and I knock on the door and I got this fucking look on my face like, I want to knock this job out and get the fuck out of here. I'm fucking pissed. The door opens and I don't see anybody. I look down. There's a guy in a wheelchair with no legs from the knees down. And he goes, "Hey, how are you? Glad you're here. Come on in. Here." He's wheeling himself. He's saying, "Come on, I want to show you the spots on the rug I want you to take care of." He's happy. And here I am with 2 legs complaining. Complaining about my little petty fucking bullshit. The little things that get us pissed off. And oh my God, that hit me. That hit me hard because I was really angry. Well, I used to be really an angry person all the time. And when I saw him, as shitty as he may have felt, he still put a smile on for me. He still put a good attitude on for me. Even if he was just faking it for the hour or 2 that I was there. He taught me a fucking valuable lesson. People like to say, "But for the grace of God, go I." I mean, I understand the point, but I don't like that saying because my mom used to say it all the time. "But for the grace of God, go I." So what you're saying basically is that God saw fit to take his legs, but to keep yours, right? So God's playing favorites now. I don't like to say that. I like to say that it can always get worse. Life can always get worse. And so it's a good idea to just stick with it. And remember it can always get worse and keep your attitude as good as you possibly can. Alright, so that's just a little stoicism I wanted to share with you guys. Now let's jump into the text, ladies and gentlemen. Colluding with terrorists, the ADL. The caption says, at a Ku Klux Klan. I like when people say Ku Klux Klan. At a Ku Klux Klan meeting, circa 1915, candidates for membership are received. So who is the KKK? I've heard a lot of people in the GDL talking about it was started by a Jew by the name of Albert Pike. I have no proof that Albert Pike is a Jew, but I would not be surprised. So I'm gonna withhold opinion in that matter because I don't know. But I would not be surprised. Let's see here. Respect. This is good info. Thank you, quote unquote internet. Echo, echo, echo. Yeah, I like to share these little tidbits of life that I've learned from. And mind you, I'm far from perfect. I'd try. That's the point, is every day I try. So, colluding with terrorists. If you remember last chapter, we had all these connections with these scumbags, and they were talking about all the financial robbery that these guys pulled off. So, colluding with terrorists, now we're going to get into something a little different. In December 1985, then FBI Director William Webster, speaking at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., admitted that, quote-unquote, a Jewish underground had emerged as a serious terrorist threat to the United States during the preceding 12 months. How about that? Indeed, over the course of 1985, the Jewish Defense League, not the GDL, but the JDL, had been responsible for a string of sophisticated bombings that left 2 people dead, a dozen others seriously wounded, and caused millions of dollars in property damage. You could be one of those people. You could be one of their family members. Alex Oda, the head of the California branch of the Arab American Anti-Discrimination Committee, or the AADC, had been killed when a bomb went off at the group's Santa Ana office. 7 other people were hospitalized in the attack. Sherem Subzakov, well, that's a tough one. Sherem Subzakov, a victim of the Injustice Department, Nazi Hunting Office of Special Investigations, OSI, had also died when a booby-trap bomb blew up his home in Paterson, New Jersey. Blunt man, why does everything bad happen in New Jersey? Why? Jersey? Why? Why's it gotta be Jersey, man? What's up, home gooooy, Mr. Bad Gooey? That's who painted the coin you have. Who did... oh, Philip D. Champagne? Really? He's the guy that created the coin? That's cool. I'll have to check that out later. Just looked it up, and he has ties with the evil ones. Everybody does. I have ties with the evil ones. No, I believe you. I believe you, buddy. But it doesn't matter who created that coin. It's how I feel about that coin that matters. It's a reminder to me that life is short and not to get caught up in the bullshit. See, we can take evil things and flip the script on them and use them for good. Right? Just because an evil person made that coin doesn't mean the coin itself is inherently evil. It's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying, brother? He was a Jew by religion. Freemasonry. That's a good point, Tammy. Evil is evil, but not if I don't fucking play with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't change it. That is the trick. Oh, yes, I can, and I just did. Alright, let's see what we got here. So, in Paterson, New Jersey, there was a booby trap bomb that blew up in this guy's home and killed him. A Boston police officer responding to a JDL bomb threat at the local office of AADC, that's the Muslim Discrimination Center, was crippled for life when a bomb blew up as he was attempting to defuse it. Oh, man, that's bad business. In each of these instances, the bomb attacks had been preceded by noisy public demonstrations and inflammatory press statements by Mordecai Levy, the leader of a JDL splinter group, the Jewish Defense Organization. So we've got the ADL, we've got the JDL, and we've got the JDO. We've got the ZOA, the Zionist Organization of America. They've got 99 1/2 organizations. Although FBI boss Webster left his National Press Club audience with the impression that the so-called quote-unquote Jewish underground was a mysterious and amorphous outfit. Amorphous means without shape. Let's take a look right quick, shall we? Amorphous means without shape. Like a blob would be amorphous. Without a clearly defined shape or form. Vague, ill-organized, unclassified. Of a people or a group or organization, that's what we're looking at. Lacking a clear structure or focus. That's the sense we're looking at it. Okay. Back to the scene, baby. What's up? Okay. So, although FBI boss Webster left his National Press Club audience with the impression that the so-called Jewish underground was a mysterious and amorphous outfit, about which the FBI had little information, in truth, the Bureau had an exhaustive profile of the key personnel and their mode of operation. FBI agents on the scene of the Santa Ana, California murder of Alex Oda knew the identities of the 3 men who planted the bomb before Oda's body was even removed from the murder scene. These dirty bastards. The killers were longtime JDL members Andy Green, Keith Fuchs, and Bob Manning. The American-born trio were residents of an Israeli kibbutz. Oh boy. In the occupied territories called Kiryat Arba. Kiryat Arba was a training camp and safe house for the JDL and its Israeli affiliate, the Cock Party. Sorry, I just had to go there. The FBI listed Fuchs, Green, and Manning as suspects in a total of 25 terrorist attacks inside the United States. Fuchs had been jailed in Israel in 1983 for firing a Soviet-made AK-47 rifle at a busload of Arabs on the West Bank. Manning had served time in jail in the United States for bombing the home of an Arab-American activist. When the 3 JDLers arrived in Los Angeles, several days before the Oda murder, they were already under FBI surveillance. Doesn't that sound familiar, guys? Like the people who were so supposedly involved in 9/11? We had Israeli Mossad tailing them, and they knew all about them, but didn't say anything because it served their purposes. Sounds familiar. It sounds like a familiar playbook. It's no wonder that Director Webster was not anxious to discuss details with the room full of reporters at the National Press Club. The Bureau had been in a position to prevent the bombing of the Santa Ana AADC office, and they had flubbed it. Did they flub it? Or worse, did they know it was going down and they let it go down? I believe they call that LMOT. They let, what is it, LMOT? Left it made on purpose or something. I can't remember. So it's possible that they let this go down, which is worse than flubbing it. At the same time that the Jewish underground was conducting its bombing spree from coast to coast, the FBI was relying increasingly on the ADL for information about extremist groups. This was the same ADL that would join with the KGB and the East German Stasi in covering the trail of the assassins of Sweden's head of state, Olof Palme. So, top to bottom, these guys are all criminals. You got the ADL, the JDL, you've got the Zionist Organization of America, you've got all kinds of different organizations. And they're all communist. They seem to be communist. Criminals. They're definitely criminals. Even more to the point, this was the same ADL that was instrumental in the creation and deployment of such diverse terrorist groups as the JDL and the KKK. I'll read that again. Even more to the point, this was the same ADL that was instrumental in the creation and deployment of such diverse terrorist groups as the JDL and the KKK. Exclamation mark. According to Robert Friedman, the biographer of JDL founder Rabbi Meir Kahane, the militant Jewish group was controlled from its founding. The militant Jewish group was controlled from its founding days by a secret 3-person committee made up of future Israeli Prime Minister and Mossad operations chief Yitzhak Shamir, right-wing Israeli parliamentarian Gula Cohen, and Brooklyn ADL chairman Bernard Deutsch. It was a December 1969 meeting between Cohen and Kahane, arranged by Deutsch, that the JDL launched its campaign of terror and intimidation against Soviet diplomats in New York and Washington, aimed at forcing the Soviets to loosen up their emigration laws for Jews. What's emigration, guys? Anybody? It's not immigration. It's emigration. What does that mean? Anybody want to take a guess at what emigration means? I'll give you a second. No guesses. It's the opposite of immigration. Immigration is when you enter a country. Relocate, yeah, that's good. Emigration is when you leave a country. So let's see. Let's just make sure, because I'm not always right. The act of leaving one's own country to settle permanently in another. Moving abroad, like you said, relocating. So, they were trying to get the Russians to loosen up on their emigration laws. So, they wanted Jews to be able to leave Russia to come to Israel. That's basically what was going on. Yes, let's see, KKK. Down in Deutsch. Okay. Aimed at forcing the Soviets to loosen up their emigration laws for Jews. In the early days, before JDL head Kahane hooked up with the mobster Joe Colombo. Is that the guy that asks a bunch of questions after you think he's leaving, and then he comes back and he goes, one more thing. Is it that Colombo? And many JDLers began funding their terrorist operations by selling dope or running syndicate shakedown operations. ADL man Deutsch had been the money bags behind the Jewish militants. Deutsch's involvement with the JDL was such a well-kept secret that his Kahani links remained virtually unknown until 1991. Just as the B'nai B'rith had quietly steered other Jewish American groups to smuggle arms into Russia on the eve of the Bolshevik Revolution, the ADL ran the Jewish underground from behind the scenes, often going through the motions of publicly denouncing the JDL violence to make sure that no direct links were ever surfaced. Wow. These sons of bitches. B'nai B'rith was involved in smuggling guns in to Russia during the Bolshevik Revolution. This is our beautiful JDL and our ADL. These are the people who put my videos into limited state because they are the arbiters of morality, don't you know? And I am just a stupid gooey who has no idea of right and wrong, and I need the ADL to tell me what's right and wrong, don't I? Yes, I do. Thank you, ADL. Thank you. What would I do without you? ADL's Ku Klux Manners, or Ku Klux Klanners, excuse me. Mordecai Levy, the leader of the JDL splinter group that managed to show up on the doorsteps of Alex Oda and Sherem Subzikov on the eves of their assassinations, maintained direct and frequent contact with the ADL's fact-finding division head, Erwin Sewell. There's a guy who is coming up frequently in the first two chapters. Just 2 weeks before the AADC's Washington, D.C. office was blown up, that's the pro-Muslim office, you had Jews attacking Muslims in America, fomenting terrorism on them, actually. We always look at the Muslims as the terrorists, but there are some other terrorists to be concerned with. So just before the AADC's Washington, D.C. office was blown up on November the 29th, 1985, Levy had appeared as the featured speaker at a press conference hosted by the Federation of Jewish Organizations of Greater Washington, an umbrella group led by both the ADL and B'nai B'rith, to present a list of quote-unquote enemies of the Jewish people. AADC was among the groups listed. On more than one occasion, Levy's provocateur antics nearly exposed the ADL's hand in fomenting domestic violence. Let's see if we can't find agent provocateur. Agent provocateur. It's a false flag, basically. A person who induces others to break the law so that they can be convicted. So when your group is meeting peacefully in public and one of the people in your group that you don't know so well starts smashing windows out, could be an agent provocateur. Provocateur means provokes, so they're provoking violence. In fomenting domestic violence. On February the 16th, 1979, Levy, using the pseudonym, I'm sure you guys know what a pseudonym is, James Gutman, filed an application with the U.S. Park Service in Philadelphia, PA to obtain permission to hold a rally. The rally permit sought by Levy Gutman, or Gutman, was not filed in the name of the JDL. Of course not, because they got some dirty plans. Levy was posing as a leader of the American Nazi Party, seeking a permit for a KKK and Nazi Party rally at Independence Hall, the site of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So there's a problem right there, is if your group doesn't have one main group who knows what's going on and says, wait a minute, we didn't schedule anything today. Who is this guy? If you're like the KKK and the Nazi groups were back then, in that there were all these splinter groups and there was no main group deciding, then it's easy for some guy to go get a permit in the name of the Nazi Party or the KKK and act like he's the KKK or the Nazi Party and do some dirty shit in your name. A lot of times, they're policemen that are doing this. You guys remember, hey, Kool-Aid, do you remember, who was the guys that they surrounded? They were in this group, and when they knelt down, you could see their shoes were police issue. I know that happened in the Boston bombing, too. There were guys who had military issue stuff, and that's how they knew that they were agent provocateurs. But there was another incident. And it was beautiful because they surrounded these guys and put them out on Front Street. They were like, you're not part of our group. Who the fuck are you? And they were trying to cover their face with the masks, and they were yanking the mask down. Do you remember that? They were trying to get out. And then the police stepped in and made the group let them go. Dirty shit. You got to be careful when you're out there meeting in public. So if I were leading a group of people who I want to meet in public, which I do eventually want to meet you guys in public if possible. I want to meet up with you guys. I want to shake your hands, look at you in the eye, and say hello. That way I can know that you're real people. I want to meet real people. Online is cool and all, but we don't know who's who. I'd like to meet with you guys. But if I were to do that, I would make sure that before we meet, it's explicitly known that there's no violence. We don't do any of that shit. We're not encouraging violence. We're not going to engage in violence. We're not going to engage in this whole name-calling thing. We're meeting in public to do what we want in a positive manner. And that's how we portray the group. And anyone doing anything different is obviously not part of the group. How many of you guys would like to meet other people in the GDL in your area? Hit 1. If you think it's a bad idea, or you just, let's say you don't want to meet in public, hit 2. And if you think it's a bad idea to be in public and meet each other, hit 3. So 1 is a good idea and you like to do it. I would love to. We'll find out what states we're each from. I can tell you I'm from New Jersey and not have to give up where I live. And so that'll stay private. Everybody keeps their own stuff private. We respect that. But it would be cool to meet up, man. You know? Just get together and not even do anything political the first time. Just get to know each other. Hang out. Go get lunch or something. You know, it would be cool to shoot the shit with you guys. So, they got these guys fomenting violence. These ADL Ku Klux Klanners. And we know klutz is what? It's Yiddish for a fucking mup, basically. So, what is Yiddish, by the way? What is Yiddish? Isn't it a mix of slang and German? It's German mixed with Hebrew. So it's like broken German / broken Hebrew, right? Yes, it is important, nebula. By the way, a nebula is where stars are born. Isn't that cool? I'm into outer space big time. I know a lot about outer space. Kool-Aid could tell you. I've had my brain in outer space for probably far too long. So let's see, Yiddish. A language used by Jews in Central and Eastern Europe before the Holocaust. It was originally a German dialect with words from Hebrew and several modern languages, and is today spoken mainly in the U.S., Israel, and Russia. There is a Yiddish word named schlemiel. That means like a guy who's an idiot. Let's see if they have it here. Oh, there it is. A schlemiel. I am not a schlemiel. I am schmiel. Okay, so there is a distinction. I'm not schmiel. I'm not schlemiel. But I am schmiel. Okay? A stupid, awkward, or unlucky person. Well, I've been unlucky on DraftKings so far, so a bit of that applies to me, right? I'm not stupid, I hope, and I've overcome my awkwardness, so I obviously am not a schlemiel. It's Yiddish. Okay. Yeah, Beatniks, I like the smile face, yes. Somebody understands what your name means. That's me. I'm not a schlemiel. Don't even go there. Okay. Now, where are we? Where are we, rather? So this guy filed an application with the U.S. Park Service in Philadelphia, this Levy guy, in the name of the KKK and Nazi Party, and they sought to have a rally at Independence Hall, the site of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. According to the rally permit, Levy was planning a quote-unquote white power rally to show white masses unity of white race and to show the world niggers and Jews are cowards, unquote. Now watch my video get put into limited state because the word nigger was in the text. I don't care. Go ahead. Go ahead and try to silence me. You're not going to. I don't care. That's back to my stoicism, right? I'm not going to let outside things bother me. I can't control what other people or things do. All I can control is how I react to it. I'm getting better, see? I'm working on this shit. Been working on it for about 5 years now. I swear by it. It's changed my life. Kool-Aid, could you tell him about how many phones I destroyed? Right? Could you tell them about my former temper in my former lifetime? This guy, he would come over my house and we would hang out, and I would miss a phone call and I would literally take my grandfather's fire axe out and throw the fucking phone on the floor and chop it and smash it into bits. Do you remember Blunt Man? When I was chopping the axe all over the place? We were wild, man. We were some wild fuckers. Yes, I killed a phone with an axe. That's true. It's better than killing a person with an axe, so that's good. We were wild, man, right, Blunt Man? We had some wild times. I'll never forget any of it. Okay. Back to the text. Enough reminiscing. According to the rally permit, Levy was planning a white power rally to show white masses unity of a white race and to show the world that niggers and Jews are cowards. Among the paraphernalia Levy listed on the application were, quote, swastikas. I was so stoned and cracking up. Yeah, it was funny, bro. You were like, man, this guy's out of his fucking mind. Swastikas, banners, Nazi uniforms, KKK paraphernalia, ... that's an ellipsis, will burn cross, swastika picket signs saying Hitler was right, gas commie Jews. Wow, so is that over the top? Can you tell that's an agent provocateur? Because we've seen plenty of pro-Nazi people, and they will call out Jews for what they've done and what they're about, but generally they're accepting of other races, just want to be separate from them. So this here is a caricature of a Nazi. They're trying to get them in trouble, trying to paint a movement. By the way, what's an ellipsis? An ellipsis, let's check it out. The omission, that's the leaving out of speech or writing of a word or words that are superfluous or over and above extraneous, unneeded, above and beyond what's needed, or able to be understood from contextual clues. So when we see that text and we see right there that it says swastikas, banners, Nazi uniforms, KKK paraphernalia, and you see those 3 dots, that's an ellipsis. So something was left out, something that wasn't really important to this. No, always look for the origins of the words. Yes, yes, indeed. I agree. All right. So working out of the Philadelphia offices of the Jewish Defense League, Levy organized local chapters. Pardon me. I got lost there trying to look at the chat. Levy organized local chapters of the KKK and neo-Nazi groups to attend the Independence Hall rally. In the case of the Trenton, New Jersey KKK, Levy had an inside track. James Rosenberg, also known as Jimmy Mitchell and Jimmy Anderson, a full-time paid employee of the ADL, Fact-Finding Division, had successfully infiltrated the local chapter of the Klan. They're always infiltrating and trying to be something they are not and painting other people. Rosenberg had recently attempted successfully to get some of the local KKKers to blow up the Trenton headquarters of the National Association for the Advancement of Color People, the NAACP, which, by the way, people may not know that the NAACP itself was formed by Jewish organizations, and the NAACP didn't even have a black president until I think it was the 70s. Okay? So the NAACP is a front, and they don't care about black people. I care more about black people than they do, these scumbags. At the same time, he was posing as James Gutman, neo-Nazi. At the same time he was posing as James Gutman, neo-Nazi, Levy was also mobilizing the Jewish community and every ragtag left-wing radical group in the greater Philadelphia area to attend a mass demonstration to quote-unquote confront the KKK and Nazis at Independence Hall. All the ingredients were there for a serious riot, courtesy of the ADL. Thank you, ADL. Thank you. Fortunately, word of Levy's scam on the Park Service leaked out to the Philadelphia press. Imagine the press these days writing anything about the ADL. After one Philadelphia newspaper ran a banner headline, quote, Nazi rally rouser, really Jewish. So, they really actually revealed something. The Park Service yanked the permit. So you can't get a permit posing to be something you're not. What up, Mr. Truth? Nebula Beatniks. Beatniks was in the 50s, right? Before the hippies. Those are the guys with the leather jackets and shit. The Bob Dylan types, early Bob Dylan types. Which, by the way, Bob Dylan was a Jew. It always comes back around, doesn't it? So, the newspaper, this Philadelphia newspaper, sunk them and revealed what they were really about, and the Park Service yanked the permit, so that failed. Levy's ADL handlers ordered him to lay low for a while. Just cool it, buddy. After all, there was no need to jeopardize Levy or even Rosenberg's standing as professional agents provocateurs inside the racist right wing. The ADL had plenty of other aces up their sleeves, and not all of them were Jewish infiltrators. Alright, let's check the chat, see what's going on. Bong and a bingo. Yeah, Bob Dylan. Bob Zimmerman, thank you. Nebula says, you guys rock. He's throwing up the horns. I like the horns. They say it's about Satan and the devil, but to me it's about being young in the 80s. NAACP, Bluntman says, equals 33 in the Jewish ordinal. Okay, we got those 33s everywhere. My man he's our occult specialist. Let's see here. Freemasons are the fifth column, quote unquote, 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 echo, in our societies. B'nai B'rith is a Freemasonic organization, and they formed the ADL too. That's correct, Soldier Anon. You may be new to the party here, but you're absolutely correct. We've gone over that in previous chapters. They are part of the Freemasons, B'nai B'rith. And B'nai B'rith actually goes back to the days of the Civil War, and they were also involved in the killing of Abraham Lincoln. So from there, B'nai B'rith, all the way up to the modern day running banking schemes and drug laundering, they have been involved and gotten their hands dirty with everything in between, on up to presidents and congresspeople. Let's talk about, Goooooy Gone Wild says, let's talk about Jews, baby. Let's talk about how they be. Let's talk about all the evil and the bad things they do. Let's talk about Jews. Wait a minute, are you doing song lyrics? And I fucked it up. Internet says, but yeah, they completely neutered Germany long ago. And it's sad. I feel so terrible for Germany. A once proud nation has to live on its knees like that. People don't know what happened with Germany. Germany, they had gone through some horrible, horrible shit. So Germany consolidated, and they unified in the late 1800s at some time. I don't know exactly what the thing is. But then this proud nation rose to prominence, and they built something called the Berlin to Baghdad Railway. This was pre-World War I, and it was a major factor in Germany being targeted. So Germany, all Germany did was be successful. All Germany did was call out the people in their midst who were trying to sabotage their country. And all they got in return was complete and utter destruction and humiliation. After World War I, they had to sign the Treaty of Paris? Or no, the Paris Treaty, something like that. And they were assigned with all the blame of World War I, made to pay all these reparations. They were disarmed, and they were humiliated. And then in the 1920s, they had to suffer through a depression like no one in Europe had seen. The Weimar hyperinflation. These were such horrible times. And to think, oh, the Treaty of Versailles, thank you very much. And to think, and that Treaty of Versailles was signed in a particular rail car, which Hitler, when he took over Paris, had the French signed their peace treaty in the very same rail car. He's like, I got something for you. That's signaling. He's like, okay, I got something for you. Find the very rail car that we signed the Treaty of Versailles, and you're gonna have to sign a fucking shitty deal in my car this time. So that was some badass shit. But Germany suffered through this depression, and the Jewish communists were trying to take it over just like they did in Russia, and they were subjecting the people to abject depravity. Berlin was the center of depravity, where you could find any disgusting, vile, sexual thing that you wanted. And the culture was depraved, the artwork was depraved, and it was just a shithole. And to think that in 1933 this man named Hitler came into power, and within 6 years, less than that, he had turned around from the bottom of the pits of depravity and depression and abject poverty, where people were starving, and he turned it around into the greatest fucking thing that Europe had ever seen, the most successful European country in a couple hundred years. How did he do it? How did he do it? Well, there were many things, but not least of which, he got rid of the bankers. He got rid of Freemasonry. He outlawed it. He arrested a couple Rothschilds. And I don't think I buy that Hitler was a Rothschild. I'm sorry, I don't think I buy it. I bought it for a little while, and I'll still entertain the possibility. But the old Schicklgruber thing, Schicklgruber, I don't know if I buy that. But Hitler was actually on Time Life magazine. He was the Man of the Year in Time magazine. He had turned his country around. And what was it? He kicked out the bankers and replaced their debt money, their shitty debt money that's made for the slavery of people, and he replaced it with a debt-free currency that was backed by the labor of the people. And he, with this money, he just turned the country around like nothing had ever been turned around before. Not since Lincoln's Greenbacks had we seen a success story like that. Alright, just a little background. I'm sorry, but I go off on my little tangents. Okay. We've got Goodman, Cheney, and Schwerner. Cheney, I wonder if it's any relation here. One of the most shocking instances of racist violence during the civil rights battles in the South of the U.S. during the 1960s was the execution-style murders of 3 civil rights workers in Philadelphia, Mississippi in 1964. The murders of Andrew Goodman, Robert Cheney, and Mitchell Schwerner sent shockwaves across America and the world as many people began to realize for the first time that the Confederacy, far from being dead, was very much alive and very much committed to rolling back the tide of equal rights for all races, at least in the Deep South. True to its historical roots in the southern jurisdiction of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, always comes back to Freemasonry, and in the original Confederate secessionist plot, the ADL, contrary to its own published propaganda, lined up squarely with the Klan where it counted the most with its checkbook. But the Klan gets all the bad name. The ADL acts like they're fighting the Klan. One particularly sordid instance, and we looked up sordid the other day, one particularly sordid instance of collusion between the ADL and the KKK came to light in a hail of bullets on the night of June 30th, 1968 in Meridian, Mississippi, outside the home of ADL official Meyer Davidson. When the smoke cleared, a local school teacher named Kathy Ainsworth lay dead, and a second man, Thomas A. Terrence III, lay dying after being hit with over 70 bullets fired by 22 local police and FBI agents. God damn, 70 bullets. Miraculously, Terrence survived the attack. Are you kidding me? What the hell were they shooting him with? 70 bullets? Oh my goodness. Either that guy is Tupac or they got pea shooters. Terrence and Ainsworth both local Klan members, had been set up. They went to Davidson's home that night. They went to Davidson's home that night to plant a bomb on his doorstep. Okay, so this guy that got shot up by 70 bullets, he was laying dying, but he still lived. After 22 local police and FBI agents shot him up. He survives the attack, but it's good to know that Terrence and Ainsworth, both local Klan members, had been set up. They went to Davidson's home that night to plant a bomb on his doorstep, not knowing that the leader of their own KKK chapter had betrayed them, and that a small army of police and FBI sharpshooters was waiting in the bushes to ambush them. That's bad writing. They were waiting in the bushes to ambush? How about waylay? How about they were waiting to waylay them? What's waylay mean? Well, it means to ambush. To stop or interrupt, detain in some conversation. Let's see. Oh, I'm wrong. Stop or interrupt someone and detain them in the conversation or trouble. Many old books that I've read says waylay means to set them up. So they were betrayed by their own KKK leader, who, unbeknownst to them, was an agent provocateur. So nothing has changed. That's true. The entire affair had been staged by the ADL. Let this be a lesson to us, guys, that you don't get engaged in violent shit. If these guys weren't planning a bomb in the first place, then they would have never been set up, right? We don't engage in violence, we don't engage in threats, and we don't even engage in, racial slurs, pejoratives, and epithets. Excuse me, epithets. I get all choked up when I talk about this stuff. So, the agent provocateur inside the local KKK chapter who set up Terrence and Ainsworth was one of the killers of Goodman, Cheney, and Sverner. Alton Wayne Roberts was out on bail awaiting his trial along with 6 other members of the White Knights of the KKK for the Philadelphia, Mississippi murders when, in the early spring of 1968, he cut a deal with the ADL's regional director, Adolf Botnick. Adolf, what an unfortunate name for a Jewish man, huh? The New Orleans-based Botnick had been a long-standing friend of the late Guy Bannister, the former FBI special agent implicated by District Attorney Jim Garrison in the assassination of President JFK. Jim Garrison was a based-ass red pillar who was just tossing out red pills when it came to the JFK killing. He uncovered some connections no one else did. I don't know if he was compromised or not, but he did put out some good shit. Botnick, with the blessings of Meridian-based FBI Special Agent Frank Watts and Meridian Police Detective Luke Scarborough, agreed to pay Alton Wayne Roberts and his brother Raymond Roberts $69,000 to become the League's paid agents provocateur. $25,000 in unmarked $20 bills was hand-delivered from New Orleans to the Roberts brothers just days before the Ainsworth-Terrence ambush. At the time the deal was struck, the White Knights, which has a different meaning today, the White Knights, led by the 2 Roberts brothers, had been on a 9-month bombing spree. The brothers were prime suspects in 10 separate acts of racist violence, in addition to the Philadelphia murders. 3 of these attacks were directed against synagogues and Jewish leaders in Mississippi. They're making people look bad. They've convinced people to try to do some dirty shit. Not good. Not good. The Roberts brothers, as per their deal with Botnick, ordered 2 of their Klan underlings to deliver the bomb to Davidson's home. They then tipped off the FBI and the local police about the exact time the attack would occur. So, wait a minute. They put the order out, though. It says it right there. The Roberts brothers, as per their deal with Botsnick, ordered 2 of their clan underlings to deliver the bomb to Davidson's home. And then they tipped off the FBI, and now all of a sudden they're forgiven? Hold up. They're accomplices. They should be accomplices. Am I right or am I right? What's going on with that the FBI wouldn't charge them? Let's see. Maybe they did get charged. They then tipped off the FBI and the local police about the exact time the attack would occur. In return for their continuing services to the ADL after the Davidson incident, the brothers were given slaps on the wrist sentences. Slap on the wrist sentences, and placed in the FBI's witness protection program. So, they worked with the ADL, and they got slaps on the wrist. Slaps on the wrist for giving the order to have people killed. Oh, no good. No good. For his part in the Goodman, Cheney, and Schwerner murders, Alton Wayne Roberts spent less than 3 years in jail. The Meridian incident was classic ADL. The League used the quote-unquote racist attack against Meyer Davidson as a scare tactic fundraising ploy. The money they raised more than covered the costs of buying up the 2 KKKers as their permanent agents provocateur inside the Klan. And they just told us that they paid him $69,000, right? $69,000 to buy those 2 Muppets, those 2 idiots. You don't have enough money in the world to buy me up and for me to lose my freedom. Fuck you. In return for their continuing services, they got slaps on the wrist. The Meridian attack was classic ADL. The League used a racist attack as a fundraising, and they more than covered their costs for buying these 2 schmucks. The League parlayed their financing of the Roberts brothers into an ever closer relationship with the FBI, which was delighted to have the ADL finance and deploy 2 of the Klan's most violent terrorists. They got played. They got played out like scratch-off tickets. They were like, winner! Hey, that looks like Eustace Mullins a little, doesn't it? Nah. Edgar Bronfman. Ooh, dirty. That looks like Eustace Mullins in his early days, doesn't it? Anybody? Eustace. I like Eustace Mullins. He was a red pillar. Anybody heard of Eustace Mullins? Hit 1 in the chat. He's a key figure for me, Eustace Mullins. If you ask me, he was a little flaky on the flaky side. But he was an eccentric. You know, you take the good with the bad. Yeah. His claim to fame was he wrote the book on the Federal Reserve. You guys know that? Let's see. Mullins on the... I'm such a bad typist. Federal Reserve. PDF. You guys know Edgar G. Griffin? Yes, Goku, that's right where I'm going. He exposed the feds first. He wrote the book on the Federal Reserve. You guys heard of Edgar G. Griffin, right? He wrote the Creature from Jekyll Island. And he's done some really good work. But all the work he did in the Creature from Jekyll Island was pretty much already done for him by Eustace Mullins. Alright? He kind of robbed his work. But, you know, it is what it is. He got the word out some more, so I guess it's okay. Let's see, we'll put this up here. See if we can get this up here. Huh, what's going on here? Ah, incognito mode. So let's see here. How can I get this stream on that? Mullins and the Federal Reserve. Boom. Just bear with me just for a second here. Window capture. Ah, that's not coming up. Okay, so that's okay. Oh, Mullins on the Fed. There it is. Aha. We got it. We got it. Go, go, go. This right here, he was the original on the Federal Reserve. This motherfucker actually got a job in the Library of Congress just so he could write the book on the Federal Reserve. Anybody in the chat? This is a good little bonus trivia question. Can anybody in the chat tell me who got Eustace Mullins to do the work on the Federal Reserve? Because Eustace Mullins didn't know anything about the Federal Reserve until this one person told him about it. This one person red-pilled him. See other formats. I'll check the chat in just a second. There you go. Federal Reserve conspiracy. Oh, that's weird. What happened? Anyway. Eustace Mullins red-pilled everybody on that shit. 1954. Look at the date. 1954 is when he did it. He got a job in the Library of Congress just so he could do it. Anybody got... Pounds. Yes, it was Ezra Pound. The great American poet. Ezra Pound. Ezra Pound spoke out against World War II in Italy on the radio, and they put him as a political prisoner in St. Elizabeth's Hospital for 12 years. For 12 fucking years. They did that man dirty. That's a goddamn shame. Alright, that's yeah, they locked Pound up. That's fucked up, right? What else did Eustace Mullins do? He wrote about the Jews extensively. He wrote a book called The Biological Jew. So if you guys ever want to see that PDF, let's see. He was a Christian, so he saw it through the Christian angle. PDF. I'm going to try to drop a link on you. Didn't Hemingway have something to do with Pounds? Pounds, he was a protege of Pound. Ezra Pound made Hemingway who he was. He made Hemingway. He made a whole bunch of people. They were all the famous poet, most famous poets of the 20th century. So let's see if I could bring this up. YouTube, window capture, discard that, and we'll go to The Biological Jew. Where are you? Well, that's weird. Anyway. Alright, I'm fucking up. But let me just drop the link to you guys. Jan Irvin. Yeah, I like Jan. He's a little flaky, but I like him. I've been subscribed to Jan Irvin when it was Gnostic Media. For 10 years I've been subscribed to him. You take the good with the bad, right? That right there is The Biological Jew by Eustace Mullins. You could find his Eustace Mullins bibliography. A list of all the books he wrote. Let's see. The Complete Works of Eustace Mullins. Ooh, look at that. Let's have to check that out. Ah, there's a couple pictures of Ezra Pound. I wish I could bring this up. YouTube, window capture. Save. There we go. Complete Works of Eustace Mullins. Do you guys see Ezra Pound, top left? That's Ezra Pound. Dude, he was a weirdo, but he was a fucking genius. That guy was a genius. Most people of a super high IQ, you'll notice, are very eccentric. Very, very strange. But that guy, make no mistake, this guy was a fucking genius. And you know what? I gotta say, I listened to Eustace Mullins wrote a book about Ezra Pound called This Difficult Individual. And I'm almost done, and I'm 3/4 of the way through the book. Ezra Pound figured out what I've been preaching my whole goddamn life, is that the way you take the bankers' power away is to get rid of their debt money and to replace it with debt-free fiat currency, government issued. Eustace Mullins wrote another book called it was about the pharmaceutical industry. What was the name of that book? Death by Lethal Injection, I believe it was called. This guy was a bad motherfucker. And Ezra Pound was the genius behind Mullins who got him to look into this stuff. I've never seen this site. This is pretty cool. Michael Collins Piper. That guy, he was the real deal. Anybody here ever heard of Michael Collins Piper? And his book on JFK, what was the name of the book? Anybody? Help me out. Michael Collins Piper's book was, yeah, Piper. He was the real deal. Anyway, he's passed away, and I've listened to some of his stuff. He's a red pillar. He's like Michael Rupert. Michael Rupert was a cool dude, too. So look at that. Michael Collins Piper did a write-up on Eustace Mullins. The Neo-Zionist Order. Eustace Mullins, and figures that video is unavailable. Uploaded by Money, Bank, Credit, and Economic Cycles. I've seen all these interviews. Eustace Mullins about the New World Order. Eustace Mullins was a bad motherfucker. I look up to these people. There you go. Final Judgment. Thank you very much. You guys are the best. Because when I get the brain farts, you guys come through on the camel clutch. The Curse of Canaan. A demonology of history. You know what that's all about. And he also did a new history of the Jews. Murder by Injection. This guy red-pilled everything. He talks about how the Rockefellers took over our fucking medical shit. You guys heard of oh, what's the name of the lady that did the dumbing down of America? Charlotte Iserbyt, another good recommendation. Guys, I'm full of recommendations. I'm also sometimes full of shit, but mostly full of recommendations. So let's see. The Curse of Canaan. Let's click on it and see what we got. Oh, Damon's in the house? What's up, Damon? How are you? Look at this index of works. Whoa, whoa. I just hit the gold mine. See this here? Let me see if I can straighten that out for you. Look at this. There you go. That's the gold mine right there, guys. Let me give you the link to this. Eustace Mullins, man, we're going to read some of his books. I'll tell you that right now. Alright, so Truth is going to be coming on soon. So I'm going to take it down. I don't want to be overlapping. Guys, thanks for joining me. It was laid back. Nothing, no big deal. No big deal tonight. Let's take a quick look at me first, obviously, because I clicked the wrong button. Let's take a look at what we're going to be covering tomorrow. Let's see. Here we go. In bed with communists. The full text of this. The full text of that. Oh, damn it. Whatever. The next chapter. Can you guys see that? Oh, okay. We're good. In bed with communists, dictators, and spies. That's tomorrow. Let's see how long that chapter is real quick, so I know what I'm looking forward to. Oh, it's a relatively short chapter. We'll barrel through that. Guys, after tomorrow, we're 3/4 of the way through the whole book. I feel like we just started. All right. Hey, peace out. What's up, Damon? Unfortunately, we're ending now. Good show, they say. Thank you. Thanks for what you're doing. You're very welcome. I'm doing it for me, too. I'm selfish. But I love sharing, and I love learning with you guys. All right. Deuces out. I'll see you guys in the chat on Truth. All right? Peace. Love you guys all.